The function that I'll demonstrate in this particular segment is glanceable mode. As according to the spec, this is simply the mode for the temperature sensor where we can easily glance at the screen and see what temperature it is right now. And as you can see, it's 75 degrees Fahrenheit at the moment. Now that I've introduced glanceable mode, the next mode that I'll demonstrate is alert mode. In this particular mode, the temperature monitor will output an alert anytime the observed temperature is above a certain threshold. In our case, it's 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're at 76 degrees Fahrenheit at the moment. Let me trigger the alert manually using my finger. So as you can see, the temperature is rising. And now the alert screen has come up, and this is because we're above the threshold of 80 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the second mode that I'll demonstrate for this video. This is alert mode. And in this mode, the temperature monitor will trigger an alert anytime the observed temperature is above the threshold, which is in our case 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, in order to dismiss the alert so that I can resume usage of the device, I will need to press any of the capacitive touch buttons. And you could either touch the down button, touch the up button, scroll to the right, scroll to the left. In my particular case, I'm simply going to press down on the touch button, and this should cause a dismissal of the alert. And there we go. We are now back in glanceable mode. For the next part of this video, I'll demonstrate a third function, which is the ability of my device to post to Adafruit.io. Adafruit.io is a cloud-based service that allows me to post data so that I can access it from another computer, in my case my MacBook, and allows me to see it in the form of a dashboard. In this case, I've created a temperature feed, and you can see that there's been quite a bit of activity over the past few days. So, I'm now going to add another data point to this graph, and you'll see it update after it's been posted. And now for the intents of the spec, it says we only have to post every 15 minutes. I upped the rate so that you could actually see me post. So I have now put my finger on the sensor, and you should see it increase as you just did. It has bounded from 76 degrees Fahrenheit to 83 degrees Fahrenheit. And let's just keep the finger there, and we'll see whether the temperatures go even higher. Okay, another 83 degrees Fahrenheit has come up. And as you've probably noted, I've rate limited my posts because I have a 30 per minute quota enforced by Adafruit. And my finger is off the sensor, so now it's going back down to 79 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is a demonstration of my ESP8266's ability to post to Adafruit.io. The next piece of functionality that I want to demonstrate is my monitor's ability to interface with the Dark Sky API. And for reference, the Dark Sky API enables developers like me to query local weather data. And the specification requested that our device use a GET request to pull down local forecast data as well as local weather data. And in this particular mode, I'm going to show you local weather data, which will include temperature, the date, and textual icon plus description. To access this mode, all we'll need to do is press down. And I'll zoom in a little bit closer so you can take a look at what we're displaying. The Dark Sky API has shown that it is a 58 degrees Fahrenheit day. Today is obviously May 9th. it is partly cloudy, and the appropriate textual icon, as well as its context, has been displayed. The next thing I'd like to demonstrate is the forecast mode. What you're seeing right now is the local weather mode, but there is actually another mode in which I can simply scroll down and get the forecast for today and the next 2 days. So you'll see a 3-day forecast, which has the icon associated with each of these days, the highest temperature, and finally the actual date. And as I said before, you can access this mode by pressing down on the capacitive touch button. Today's May 9th, and you'll have a forecast all the way up to May 11th. And there you go. You have 3 partly cloudy icons, and as well as their appropriate temperatures and dates. We're currently in local forecast mode, and we need to get back to glanceable mode for me to demonstrate some of the other functionality we have. So let me just get back to glanceable mode, and this is accomplished by first pressing the up button, which brings me back to the local weather mode. And finally, to get back to glanceable mode, I'll make one more press the button. And there we have it. We're back in glanceable mode. Now that we've returned to glanceable mode, I'm going to show the next piece of functionality required for this project. This is detailed mode. And if you remember, detailed mode is actually a required portion of the last milestone of this project, but now I've improved it to interface with Adafruit I/O. So just like last time, I'm first going to get to detailed mode. And this is simply a button press on the top capacitor button. And just like last time, you'll notice that the 4 current specifications of interest are the current temperature, the average temperature, the minimum temperature, and the maximum temperature. And detailed mode has been improved so that we will now pull the most recent 50 temperature samples from Adafruit I/O via a GET request, and then any other temperature sensor readings that we capture locally are going to be pushed into our local data store as well as posted to Adafruit I/O. And just to show that it can actually keep up, I put my finger on the sensor and it's able to detect the changes in temperature. And as you can just see, the maximum temperature has now been established as 86, whereas before it was lower. Now we are in detailed mode. I'm going to show you the last mode that is required for this project, which is graph mode. And this is also a remnant from milestone 1 of this project. However, this has also been improved because it now interfaces with Adafruit I/O to graph the most recent 50 samples and then add on any additional local temperature values. Just like last time, let's get into graph mode by pressing up on the capacitive touch button. And as you can see, we have the values up to 16 for this first window displayed on the screen. Okay, so I will now demonstrate graph mode, which is a remnant from milestone 1. In this version of graph mode, we pull down the 50 most recent values from Adafruit I/O and then update them with their local temperature values. So in our case, we can actually go forward in time by scrolling to the right, which brings the next 16 values. If we want to go back in time, we simply scroll to the left, which shows us the previous 16 values. Okay, so to cap off this demonstration video, I want to show how we get back to glanceable mode from graph mode. And as you can see right now, these are 16 values that are being currently shown in graph mode, and we want to get back to the glanceable mode screen. To do this, we simply press once on the bottom capacitor button to get back to detail mode, and then press once more on that same button to go back to glanceable mode. Thank you so much for watching.